The coterie has returned, and Curtis has said, "You know, we're not that much different, you and I." I've always wanted to say that. Hey, what you got there?
Jilly kind of blinks, and for a moment, you could swear there's a little particulate matter of what probably is drugs just fluttering off her like a moth in that moment as processing, holding their... You're the Prince of New York. You could be anywhere. What are you here? Why are you here?
Well, like you said, I'm the Prince of New York. So, I can be anywhere I want to be if I really want to.
But why would you want to be here?
I like this place. He's got a... You know, the one thing it's missing, though? There's no Jughead. I've been through these shelves, like, up and down 5 times. The only thing I've been able to find is a collection of political cartoons from the turn of the century. By the way, wow, were they insensitive. But the closest thing to anything in the funny papers that I could find.
Conrad?
Yeah.
What would I need to roll or not roll? Would I just know about things like the traditions, or is that not a thing anymore?
Sorry, you're a little low.
Sorry, I was also being quiet because I'm being timid for some reason. What would I need to roll or not roll in order to know about the traditions, or is that not a thing anymore?
The traditions still are a thing. Remember, this city is still pushing the Camarilla as their main sponsor and structure. In as many ways that they have stepped away from the old, they still keep the traditions.
So, are they common knowledge? I'm asking in part because you know my backstory.
Yeah, I would say, you know what? It's gonna be an easy test, but I want to see if you fuck it up, because it wouldn't be 100% that you were probably taught them as like know what you're up against kind of a way.
Yeah.
But I want to see if you retained any of it, especially since you've been keeping yourself as a Tarky pretty much this whole time.
Mm-hmm. So what am I rolling?
Intelligence politics, and I will give you a 2-die bonus because it's such common knowledge.
Oh, thank you. Two. Two successes.
Yeah, you know the traditions.
Okay. Then, as an additional lore question, is the prince currently in violation of domain?
I mean, you could really make an argument in a way.
That's all I needed to know, because I'm definitely going to.
Okay, go for it.
Excellent.
Your princely ship, sir. Isn't there still such a thing as domain?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the city's mine. Technically, this isn't the city. But, okay, if you want to go on formalities between, you know, old friends and all. Delia, did you didn't get my message?
She's slowly loading the research and development files onto a table, and dusting off some of the bullet holes in her blazer. What? No, hold on 1 second. I was occupied. Pulled out her phone.
It was a message from, like, the only message you have that looks like it might be what he's talking about is from an unlisted number, and it just says, might be stopping by later, see. I announced myself.
Is it your phone number?
Oh, no, that was a burner. But I let you know. And, you know what? I understand. If you would like to bring a grievance, you can talk to the sheriff. They'll bring it to the prince, and we'll see about making sure that they go over it in detail. You know. making sure that works out for you.
I am flattered that you think this is the cool place to be. What can I help you with?
Actually, I'm here to see what you want. Because okay, hold on. He walks over, grabs one of the chairs. It's a high-backed chair, and you see he's thinking about flipping it around backwards to do like the let's jam kids, and he looks at it. You see it pass through his eyes. He's like, nah, it looked dumb. And he turns it back around, sits, throws his feet up onto the antique table. Says, so, you've been good kids, active, out there, being fine, upstanding citizens of this fair city, staying out of the newspapers, I see. And you know, I'm just checking in. You know, we're old friends, we're pals. And you know, I was thinking like, wow, Delia, you know, could use a favor maybe, because you know what? She did me such a solid before. So I thought I'd swing by, see if you wanted anything, see if you, you know, had a pie in the sky kind of thing going on.
Let's be very real. I don't think you used me.
Yeah, you did me a favor.
That's not. I don't know if that's the same thing. Kind of like.
Well, I mean, I didn't use you specifically. You were chasing a specific thing, and I helped you out. It just so happened to help me out big time too. So, you know, scratch your back, scratch mine. I scratch the Primogen Council with a crowbar upside the head. You know, we all help each other out.
I mean, I won't lie. There have been some perks.
Mm-hmm.
For one, it's kind of fun not to be quiet anymore.
Also, I mean, without my help, would you have this swank library to hang out in?
Alright, but we really need to replace the tables, because the really spooky, snooty British thing is a little, like...
I like it. It's got character.
Seems unsanitary. Like, if I drop something on this really beautiful wooden table, it's gonna sizzle and...
Alright, so don't do chemical shit on it. I don't know. You're the nerd. I thought you liked this shit. So, like I was saying, I'm here to help you.
Well, we did accidentally do a killing today. We had permission.
For Kindred, we do that all the time.
No, it's a little different. We had permission for the fire part, but technically we might have pissed people off a little bit, maybe, because we did kind of interrupt a financial interest of the Giovanni.
So you were in Brooklyn. That'll explain the fire. Gotcha.
Permission, though. We had permission, guys.
Burn the Nazis.
Oh, no, I'm not. Trust me. You're not going to see me shedding a tear for any of those fuckwads. Honestly, I'm happy you took them out. And let's just say it's been a while trying to get rid of that element in the Kindred community, too. Because, I mean, honestly, how many people do you think had financial interests in Brazil in the last regime?
Fire works really well.
Right? See, but the thing is as a prince, I can't personally do that. And also, I didn't know exactly where things were going down. And
why can't you? The city is your domain.
Oh, it is. I'm not omniscient, though, as much as I would love to be.
I've seen your filing cabinets. I'd believe it. She's like looking through some of the files as she's looking up, and she's like,
I'm good at my job. I'm not perfect, though. We're off to a rocky start.
You know, if I had any idea that such dillweeds are being embraced from the research and development wing, I would have been a lot less cynical about myself this entire time.
Listen, the way I look at it is this. You can't make an omelet without toppling a few regimes. So, we've gotten that first part taken care of. So the next part is building up from the foundations of that. And I don't see a better person here than you to do that.
I would argue this is a terrible well, you know, Charlie's actually very well spoken.
Charlie, how are
Yes. I'm okay. She just kind of looks down at the bottom of her sundress. It's kind of still stained. Her legs are a little pink. And it's just kind of like, you know, all things considered, I have to get new sandals. But that's okay.
you? That is a tragedy that hits me to my core.
I did get Nancy's to punch each other, though, and that was fun.
That is fantastic. I had a similar situation where I was able to beat the Primogen of the Ventru into a fine paste. And I got blood all over my favorite Zeppelin hoodie. I mean, it's a double-edged sword kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just thinking that, you know, you seem to have put together a good little group of pals, and I think that we can work together. 'Cause let's be clear and honest, you know, full disclosure, not everybody's down with the new digs, you know. Not everybody's all in favor of the new management.
How many of them know how you came to power?
Like anybody else has been better. I mean, seriously, the shit they pulled back at the convention?
I'm not comparing, I'm asking.
I think they know well enough. There's rumors floating about. I mean, it's not like they've seen them anytime soon, so it's not like there's a contrasting story floating about. So yeah, it just seemed weird. Yeah, I was named sheriff, and then, you know, a few weeks later, I'm prince, and the entire previous regime is missing, and there was this whole weird thing where all the elders just started going to the subway. The stories have gotten way out of hand, though.
Very
I must
weird.
say.
Yeah, very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Yeah,
Do you want something?
I already said I'm here to help you. And I mean, you're already looking into some interesting stuff, huh?
I mean,
Right.
it is actually pretty interesting. And she just starts like sliding the folders out in front of her, and it's just like the nerd light in her eyes.
Looks over at Charlie and is just, she can't help herself. So what'd you find?
What did we find in those files?
Oh, you haven't looked at them yet.
I know, she's displaying them across the table now. She kind of just like nudged something off of it that clearly wasn't hers. And
He starts looking at it. I don't understand any of this. It looks okay. So as you lay them out, it's make a intelligence, medicine.
yes.
Anybody can make intelligence medicine, intelligence science, or intelligence occult.
Oh. Would psychoenergetics play into how they're moving the disciplines through the chemicals?
No.
Okay.
Psychoenergetics is literally, in this case, would be your understanding of how somebody would influence the world around them using disciplines. Not so much.
Okay.
5.
Wow.
Okay. 2. What skill did you use?
In medicine, which is a 5-die pool, and then I got a 10 that turned into another 10.
Ooh. Okay. Charlie got 2 on which roll?
Science.
Science.
Ooh.
Okay.
I did poop, but I got 3 in occult.
3 in occult. Well, a good spread here of the 3. From a science standpoint, you know this is a lot of chemical compound writing. This is not your standard, we're going to get some Sudafed and we're going to cook it down and then we're going to crystallize that shit and then smash it up and sell it. This is way more complicated. This is actual understanding of chemistry. This is not a cooker. Whoever was doing this is a chemist. Delia recognizes that some of the so Charlie, looking at it, there are certain things that you don't grasp. There's chemical molecular chain diagrams, but some of the molecular chain nodes are definitely not on the periodic table. They're not English. They're not Arabic letters. They are something else, and you can't exactly make it out. Delia recognizes them as a derivative of Enochian. It's referencing bloodlines as chemical components into this cookery. So there's a lot of very intriguing things here, especially if you had time to go over it. You actually might be able to glean straight up formula on how to make some of this shit.
Are the other things that are presented, are they all pre-existing disciplines?
Not disciplines. Bloodlines.
That they're like the things that they're creating from these bloodlines.
They're
are all
also
things...
based off of like ingredients from specific individuals, and some of them are resonant based.
Okay.
Luke, with his medicine, knows that these are derivatives of shit, what the hell? I don't want to say just straight up crystal meth, but it's a similar process, it looks like. But they're using kilns. It seems to be implying that instead of being in, like, it's using like slow cookers, but the slow cookers are in a kiln, and that kiln has more shit going on than just being a kiln. It's a vessel. And it's linking to more of Delia's domain than yours. But it looks like how the Enochian symbols, like, you don't catch what they are right off the top of your head. You've of everybody here, you would have seen them more. You know that there's definitely a distillation going on. And there is Cintrinatus and Negredo, and there's some shit going on that is old medicine, like Philosopher's Stone medicine happening here. Curtis is looking at it like,
Okay, fine. Wait.
this is cute. Is
Take
there
a-
like a, is this like a map?
For a party favor, yeah. I have a few limited supply. But she holds up one of the little packets.
Party favors.
Yeah, yeah. Interestingly enough, they're more than your standard drugs, right? They're well, here, taste bud. Pass it over.
I have a policy of not putting anything into my body that I don't know exactly what it is. This is a temple.
Fine, if you don't want the really cool drug things that we found, give back.
You try it. Hands it over to Charlie. You've been to a few parties in your life.
I listen, just because I've been there doesn't mean I tried anything in a little baggie.
Temple. Coachella. So, go ahead.
Just stares. Like, should I be offended? I feel like I should be offended.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But if you don't
It
want,
wasn't very nice.
are you gonna try it? Are you gonna eat it? Are you?
What do you?
Are you gonna?
Do it.
Are you gonna take it?
Do it. Do it.
What?
Be one of
do
the
you know
cool
what- Do you
kids.
even know what it is? Listen, I'm looking at this now, and parts of the chemical, like that, and Charlie just points to like a node in the chemical like string that doesn't make any sense. She's like, I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is?
It looks like they're using like old baseline alchemy for bloodlines, right? It's kind of like the real nasty eraser juice I had you guys kick back that time. Did you drink it, or did you just eat the cookies? You probably
I
just
did
ate the
not.
cookies.
I ate the cookies, and they were delicious.
See, you'll eat Delia's cookies, so have the stuff that the...
But I know what's in cookies. I don't know what's in. Points at the node. I don't know this thing that's in here.
Well, for one, we don't know if that's exactly the one that you're taking.
True.
It could be something completely
I'm
different.
really interested in the red pill, if I'm honest.
Then it's completely mystery, and that's even scarier.
So what you were able to
No.
grab is several examples of what they're selling, and you're fairly sure you can pick out what each one is. There is red rock, like in a small glass
Like a vial.
like an essential oils bottle. You know those bargain bottles you get at Michael's. You used to that Charlene makes fucking perfume in on the weekends.
I'm Charlene. I'm literally Charlene.
It's got like 3 rocks in it, and it looks like you could probably cook it like heroin. Maybe you're not 100% sure. You might have to break it up, rub it on your gums or something. You're not sure. In another small similar vial is it looks like a sticky substance. It's kind of deep red. It looks almost like pulled taffy consistency, maybe a little more paste like. It looks like really red tiger balm. That'd be best way to describe it. And then the third thing you were able to pick up is a little Ziploc baggie another, like, this guy obviously went to Michael's, hit up the craft store and got all of their, like, sorting things.
Is this our cream saver one?
This one has...
Is this the cream savers?
It looks kind of like a cream saver with, but it's like a pill form.
Would I be able to sniff out the resins? It's just that normally Bloodhound would function in a different way, but in this case, the components being used, you would still need to use blood in this.
Okay, so
if it's anything like the alchemy
that
she's figured out so far.
Bloodhound, though. Let me see if you can do that without actually tasting the person. I would allow it if it can be done without having to touch it, but it's going to be very difficult. Without having to taste it, I should say. Where are you, Bloodhound? You can smell the resonance of human's blood without tasting it. You still need to be within olfact. Okay, yeah, you can sniff it. It's going to be difficult, though, so resolve awareness and subtract 4 dice is rough.
That would be a singular die. Nope.
Okay.
I think I just have to. I think I can just taste it, right? I think later on, when I have some time, I would probably get a little better idea if I tasted it. But I mean, it is actually really interesting the way they're conveying it. To be able, it's concerning because I think it works on mortals, right? So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. That's good to know. It's information that's usable.
It's not problematic.
Oh, it's a big problem.
Okay, good.
But it's
That's
also
what I thought,
usable.
Like, everything is, I suppose.
Yeah. It just means I know who I need to talk to next. I need to set up some arrangements, some little, get-togethers, stuff like that. Little tete-a-tetes, if you know what I mean, right? Yeah. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Do you know, let's say, is it purely being done? What fuels it? What do they put in here?
Well, I think you could probably get away with making it with a few different things. She pulls out from her purse and she's like, this thing can be made a few different ways.
What's that?
It'll replicate a Lasombra talent.
Oh. Well, how did you come by that then?
For some reason, I had to vacation in Philadelphia for a really long time, and I had some free time on my hands.
I am so sorry.
Do you understand the state of Philadelphia right now?
I guess I do.
You put me on a train to Philadelphia, Curtis. For that alone, I should tell you to drink this. So,
All right. Here's the deal. I know they're selling this stuff. I know that they are using their own blood to make it. I know it's the new hotness that's going around right now. These they're not fully kindred. They're
but they're able to do things that are amazing enough if they're using their own blood, which by all rights we've basically written off and said are pointless.
Listen, I called them the new hotness. I didn't say they're shit. I just said they're not entirely what we are. There's something different. So,
fair.
If you want to know more about them, I would like to know more about them. So why don't we, do a little bit of a I help you, you tell me, back and forth, that kind of stuff, right? I mean, you two understand, fair exchange, favor for a favor.
What's the favor we get?
Oh, I could maybe provide you with a few things. I do happen to have a few connections around the city. I could tell you which of these books you definitely need to start in. Oh, and he pulls out a USB. Ah, right, and the encryption
what?
cipher for these books.
That piece.
Right? Because Lucas had this in his pocket, and I was looking at it, and I was really curious as to what it was. It turns out it's a whole... I thought it was just a Dewey Decimal System of his favorite, books to get out of the library, which I do not put it past a hyper nerd like him to do that. You probably have something similar somewhere. But as I was looking at it, it turns out it's a book cipher. So there's a whole bunch of research on this little itty bitty thing. I share this with you.
Have you looked at it yet? Have you gone through it yet?
I don't understand. I'm an application guy. I'm not an R&D guy.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Because she shakes the papers. A lot of this research came from the U.S. R&D.
Ooh, that's interesting. I had no idea that was the fact.
Why do you gotta use that?
Wow.
I stand up from the table and kind of growl a little, and then I walk into the stacks so that I am elsewhere. And then I send a text to Charlie saying, "Step in, negotiate, please."
Ooh, somebody's gumpy. You'd think he'd be in a better mood.
I thought we had a good night. Everyone seems way more happier in this current collection. Maybe it's just the regime, Curtis. Everyone's just in a better mood.
Honestly, I would have showed up with Tallulah myself and helped out if I had known it was going down. That's what I named my crowbar. Tallulah.
Can we not focus about the...
I mean, I named my plants, so I guess that's fair. Curtis, so I think that, and Charlie just points at the USB, goes I think we could definitely do something with that, because we have some really smart people now on the team, and I think that would be really good to have on our end. So I definitely think that if we're going to do a fair exchange, but I think that's totally doable, that would be really good in our hands, because we can get somewhere with that.
He puts it down on the table and just says, I just need to make sure that we have an open line of communication here, that there's no barriers between us. So I think that maybe to make sure that everybody's, cool with it, you all have one drink for me.
I'll figure out the library myself. Thanks.
Mm?
As it is, I think the entire city knows that I am somehow yours. I don't need to make it physical. Thanks.
Oh, no. I'm not going to be going that far with it. This is just a subtle insurance policy.
You seem to manipulate me fine enough without that.
See, there comes a time where we have to change the way that we handle some things. And you're very aware of the stuff going down in the city. So I thought it might be better if we were all kind of working together. I mean, this would be a huge favor to me, and it would be a huge favor to you. And I could also make sure that the Giovanni don't do anything about you torching down one of their assets. Because I know I might have been a little dishonest before. I know what was down there. I've known for a bit. It's been one of those things that I've just been keeping an eye on. And no, I didn't like it. But you know how those necrocapitalists are. You hurt their money and they get real upset. And even if you had dispensation, I got off the phone with this guy. He was really nervous. What was his name? Oh, geez. He was trying to tell me that he needed insurance. And
Vinny?
Vinny. Yeah.
Did he get his insurance?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Well.
boy.
But I know that I could definitely take care of that for you. 100%. No problem. Free and clear.
Not free.
Clean slate then. With the Giovanni. Which, let me tell you, you have a wonderful habit of getting into, a situation with that. So, what do you say? I'm open to counter offers as well.
I'm like standing by the corner of a bookshelf waiting to hear what people say, but like not yet coming out.
If Charlie was capable of sweating, she's sweating.
How about instead of threatening me, you bribe me?
Holds up the thumb drive.
Yeah, but there is that whole blood bond thing, and it doesn't necessarily sit very well with me. I just got rid of the last bit.
Oh, you didn't get rid of that. That was that was very much out of your control. Which, if memory serves me correct, Lucas was interested in that too. So, do you have a counter offer, Charlie? I mean, I got an idea for making sure that this just think of it as an extended handshake. 2 weeks, we're all solid. This is just to make sure you're gonna hold up your end of the deal. Think of it as signing a contract.
Is out of game.
Mm-hmm.
Are blood bonds a thing? Like something? Sorry, it's Friday. Friday brain is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing an email in my head. Hold on.
Curtis, as per my last email, fuck you.
Please suck one
TKS,
big dick.
Charlie. For everything that Charlie learned from her sire, would something like what Curtis said, like, you should all drink for me, would that have triggered anything in her head, like, this is bad, or this is
Blood
fine,
bonds
or
are common
anything like
knowledge. Blood bonds are very much
Okay.
common knowledge. You have been initiated into most of the Camaria's habits. So you know that drinking... The blood bond is 3 stages. The first stage is basically you are willing to do things for that person as a friend. And you very much appreciate them. Level 2, you're starting to get into codependency levels of needing to make sure that person is happy. Level 3 is just straight up servitude. Like, not kosher levels of dom-sub relationship. And it lasts for a while. Almost to the point of, like, having dominate active on that person at all times is the level of blood bond. Like, you have to do a hell of a lot to defy something that a level 3 blood bond would request of you. A level 1, you would be inclined to do it so long as it wasn't damaging to yourself or a loved one. You'd be inclined to help out your person you're bonded to. So you do know about these. So he's suggesting level 1 blood bond. 1 drink.
Okay.
And that just makes everybody fuzzy together, is the way he's putting it forward. What it does mean is that everybody will be a little bit more likely to acquiesce to his requests, so long as he keeps his end of the deal standard.
Okay. Charlie kind of shifts a little bit and goes, so you would need all of us to drink, or would you be okay with taking kind of one of us as a collateral?
Yeah. I think if one of you were to step forward and be nice enough to sign on the dotted line, make sure that I received any information that you were putting together so that I could also benefit from this little investment that I'm making, I'd accept
some
one.
number of books violently fall off a shelf.
Oops, Butterfingers.
Yeah, sorry about that. I come walking back out. Why don't we keep it fair then? You know, if we're gonna do this whole blood bond thing, why don't you blood bond yourselves to one of us? Hell, why don't we just, put it all in a cup and pass it around? Sounds fair to me, right?
Is that how that works?
No.
Oh no, that's the
But
way
it
his
does.
old gang used to do it. Don't worry.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're into coercion,
Oh, this isn't coercion. This is just simply.
yes, it is. Why not trust? We're gonna go do some shit for you that you want done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we get it done and we come back alive and we give you what you want, what's the big deal? Why do you need one of us to be mind fucked for you?
That's not a mind fucking. How?
Yes, it is. Don't act. Oh, come on, man. I mean, you're the prince, but you're not acting very regal right now.
Listen, I never said that I was regal. Don't ever get it twisted. I do what I do because I need to get it done. And I do what I do because it has to be done. And I don't care how it gets done. I'm not a preening Tory walking around on a fucking stage in a ballerina costume trying to make himself look like the high muckety muck of the goddamn Eyes Wide Shut Club.
Well, then why are you playing the Camarilla Elders game?
Because I'm better at
Blood
it
bond
than they are.
coercion to get shit done? That's their fucking game.
Oh, come on. You delude yourself if you think that other philosophies don't do the same fucking shit.
That's why I got out of all of them. But you're the one here now. What do you want us to do? You'll pay us when we're done. Why does it have to be harder than that?
See, I'm putting the thing forward. I'm making the investment. I'm trying to ensure a return on my investment.
What's to invest? If we go off and we don't get it done, then you're out nothing. If we die, then you have absolutely nothing invested in us, and you just wash your hands of the whole fucking thing. We're cannon fodder.
God, I'd love to live in that simple little mind you have. It'd be beautiful. But none of it works like that. There's way more going on. There's way more at stake. And if I'm going to be putting forward anything, this little fucking thing, I could put this forward to several other researchers that I could get in touch with. I'm doing you a favor in this regard. Because Delia and I have worked together so well in the past.
Funny, you didn't necessarily need any reassurances then.
Oh, because you were going where you were going to go. You did what you were going to do. I happened to be a benefactor of what you were doing yourself. I didn't word it the way you worded it, did I?
I can do it better next time.
Well, I'm simply making sure that now, since we understand where each other stands, that we all hold up our end of the deal. I'm coming to you as equals right now.
No. No, you're not.
What about a different payment? Something else.
What do you have in mind?
Well, no, there has to be something else you want, right? I mean, I've already publicly tried to point my allegiances. That you have a blood witch in your pocket. I thought maybe you would like that.
Thing is, I have that whether you publicly declare it or not. The rumors have done that for me.
Yeah, where did those start, I wonder?
I have no idea. Rumors get out. The elders were acting really strange. Then they all went down into the subway, and then they weren't seen again. And they just exploded. You know how rumors can be.
Helps when you got every harpy in the city on your side.
I did not have every harpy in the city on my side. I would like to let you know.
Well, one's probably dead and the other was on your lap.
Listen, that was Fernando's game. I'm not playing cloak and dagger here. I'm playing very straightforward business with you.
Yeah, carrot and stick.
You eat the carrot or I use the stick?
Yeah, what if I'd rather neither?
Well, you're not fun.
We have come to an agreement.
Okay. How about this? I would offer to drink from Delia. But that's kind of useless right now, from what I've heard. How about one of yours shares and I'll share in kind?
That at least makes it more fair. It requires double for me, but I could.
That's a very different game.
I'll do it. If it helps us do what we need to do and we can achieve things that we want to achieve and learn what we want to learn and get to where we want to get, I will do it.
I mean, considering the options,
Oh, no worries. I won't do it.
you'd probably taste like grave dirt and worms anyway.
Look who's talking, pal.
Luke.
Wow. It's fine. I get it. Okay. So on the table, Charlie and I do a little swappy. And you know that I'm not going to do anything to harm your crew, because doing so would be harming lovely Charlie. And I know Charlie is going to, from your side of the tracks, make sure that things start coming my way. How about this? I'm gonna go see if I can find Jughead. The three of you can have a little conversation. I'll be right back. Use the bathroom. So he gets up and walks and starts looking through the aisles for comics.
Charlie, I am deeply inspired by your pursuit of knowledge. But at the same time,
It's the most fair deal we're gonna get. He's about 5 seconds away from just fucking forcing us.
And right now we're not really in a position to do anything else. I mean, we're gonna have the Giovanni breathing down our back of our throats just because of the fire and lack of insurance, and we didn't really get any product out, and that's really bad, and that's really gonna be awful. No matter how many Nazis punched each other that night, it's not gonna make up for the fact that we didn't hold up our part of the bargain.
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that if we all jump him at the same time that we don't just end up killing the prince and moving on with their lives, but that would put you, Delia, into more danger than I'm willing to place you.
If I'm honest, Curtis is a scumbag, but he's also probably one of the better things to happen to New York, considering the changes that's been brought about. I'm very, very, very aware that he will use anybody. And if you're not defending yourself, then you'll just get moved. And I mean, everyone does that, right? But at least something good comes about New York when he moves us pieces. So I don't necessarily think I would want to take him out. With that said, I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to break your bonds, Charlie. I can't necessarily bond people, really, but it's really hard to bond me too. Maybe that goes on the whiteboard for things I figure out how to break next.
Listen, I know this is kind of like a weird, scary thing that I'm kind of volunteering for, and I get that, and my sire did go over this with me, but I just know that this is kind of the only way we can really make this happen. And that USB, I don't know a lot about tech, but I know Danny would probably love to get her hands on that, and it would probably help a lot, and I'm really scared about the Giovanni because I didn't do all that great talking to them, and I'm really sorry about that, Delia. I'm gonna try better next time, but
it's okay. Honestly, I avoided a lot of that stuff to the point that I worked for someone who I thought would do it for me for a long time. I put myself in a weird, bad spot because I was afraid to do it myself. So I know how hard it is to suddenly try and have to navigate through society. I get the feeling you and I... Oh my god, did I almost quote Curtis? I have a feeling that you and I both may have come from a secluded background for kindred society. So we're learning, right?
Yeah, a little. It's definitely been a lot of learning, especially recently. But I know. I mean, you just said you can't be bonded. Is that what you just said?
Well, you have to work a little harder to get me to bond. So on one hand, if he didn't know about it, it would have been great. Because then I could take the normal amount that it would take to bond someone, and my blood would not take. Whatever happened in Vienna.
Tell?
Yeah. I got a prickly
Couldn't
issue.
he tell that it didn't take, or can he not tell? And Charlie just looks between both Luke and Delia, who are likely been vampires for much longer.
Charlie, I want to be direct here.
Okay.
You don't deserve this. You didn't do anything to earn this. You don't have to do this. But if you choose to, if this is something you're okay with, I respect that.
If it helps the coterie, I will do it. It's okay.
Then I won't get in your way.
And I can tell that you're not gonna want to do it, and I don't want you to do something that you don't want to do. Like, you had a great night punching Nazis, and I don't want to ruin it for you.
Ruining my night, I promise you, is not something that really matters in the grand scheme of things. I've had an awful lot of ruined nights.
Well, I don't want to add to it. So
You're not.
if I could take it away.
No. What I need you to do is stop blaming yourself. If this is a choice for you, good. If this is a choice because you feel guilt, don't.
It's not guilt. I can tell you that it's not.
Then good. And thank you.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I'll try to
It's okay.
fix it. Try and
It's
break
okay. I promise. It'll be okay. And she just smiles. Just like, it'll be okay.
It's not the worst.
And if it's an exchange, then maybe that'll help us in return too. Maybe we'll get a little extra out of this than we're not expecting that we can't think of right now.
Very positive.
So
From the other room.
it'll be okay.
From one of the stacks you hear, ooh, I think this is an old copy of a Portuguese translation of Tintin. That's close enough.
It's just,
You'll have to go get his attention.
it's just, Delia, Luke, is there anything that either of you can think of that we want to try to add on to this deal, or do we think it's just the way it is how it's going to be?
Get out of this conversation as quickly as possible. That's the goal.
Shared information.
Yeah.
If he knows anything related to what we're working on, he has to give that information to us, and we will give every information we have to him.
Okay.
Right? Both ways?
Information highway goes 2 ways. Okay.
Do you want like
just
a
kind of
private moment? Do we like Luke and I go here?
Oh,
Or...
I'm going to be here for it.
okay. This is gonna be weird, and I apologize. You go, you're.
Hey, yo, Curtis!
Curtis!
Hmm? Comes around the corner. We got some silly putty. I think we could pull up some stuff off this and have like a transfer thing. It'd be really cool. It'd be a fun little activity. Oh, you made a decision. Cool. All right. He doesn't even put it back on the shelf. He just chucks a really old newspaper and just kind of offhand flings it into the aisle. So, what's your thoughts?
Okay, so thoughts are we do the swap,
Mm-hmm.
and its information highway goes 2 ways. We find out anything, you're the first to know about it. You find anything else out, we get to know about it.
If I find anything and it deals with what you're going for and I can get it to you, I will get it to you.
Just looks over to Delia, and Luke just nods like, yeah?
So any project we're working on, both ways? Just like a big ol' swapping highway? Really?
Oh yeah, no, I'll be completely open. Drop something. Not dice or anything.
No. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I'll
And not just like this little like drug thing, right? Because this is just like a small little piece out of.
I'll be an open book. Listen, making sure that you have what you need to find out what's happening with this little drug trade they've got running, this kin drugs. No, that doesn't work. I'll workshop it with committee. But it benefits me. And if there's anything that you can trust in these nights, it's I'm gonna do what's gonna benefit me. You can always trust that.
I think that might be the one completely unfabricated statement you've made tonight.
No, I have been utterly truthful in every word I have spoken up until this point.
It's true, you can lift things with silly putty.
Right?
You can.
I used to do that. It was fun.
Yeah, it was actually really cool.
I only made little people out of my silly putty. Just little figures. I named mine Philip.
That's a joke for Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
People who watch Sundays.
So, shall we dance? As he slides forward and you don't know how, but you catch the whiff of like old cigar and hot dog cart. Like old mustard. For a second. It's Nosferatu, folks. He goes to his wrist, bites across, trickle
Connor,
running down his wrist.
Just letting you know that okay, I'm one hungrier. I failed the. I'm spending for Eyes of the Beast,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting real close to the whole thing.
Make a wits awareness test.
Three.
You smell it too. But he's bleeding. And he offers it to Charlie. As he takes her wrist. And he's firm, but you're definitely getting a kind of a goon hand vibe off of it. It's not firm and strong in a comforting way or in a arousing way. It's firm and strong in a somebody who's taking what they want and knows it kind of way. An entitled, confident kind of way. As you feel him bite in at your wrist. Here's the thing. The kiss still feels good. That's the thing about... There's a small pinch, and then there's a small rush of like the same happiness you feel when you really, really, really have been craving a good steak and then you get like a $60 steak at a steakhouse kind of feeling that, like, yes, this is what I wanted. So since this isn't,
Okay.
so does Charlie reach in for his wrist?
She tries to match his timing the best that she can, so that it's like the epitome of a fair exchange, that it all happens at one time. So she just watches when he moves, she moves, and tries to emulate.
Okay. It goes down the way you all expected. There's a momentary exchange, and because you are literally sharing the same amount, there's no hunger increase. You're both feeding and not feeding at the same. You're feeding and draining at the same time. So, there's no hunger exchange, no hunger drop on either end.
Okay. He doesn't taste like hot dog cart, does he?
Oh. Oh,
I'd be upset.
no.
No, he doesn't. No, it's a completely different flavor. He is. There's a spice, like slightly too intense ginger in an apple cider. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that could have been a whole hours. I'll take that.
But
It could have been hot dog cart
it's
cigars.
it still has a sourness to it that hits you. Mildly choleric, if we were to be specific.
If Charlie was able to make sure that her eyes can stay on the other two, she'd just be looking at them like, what is happening?
Everything, there's no wasted product, right? I don't know. I could probably say that better. Celia watches, with that hawk's gaze to see if anything falls on Charlie's shirt, floor, anywhere.
He pulls back his mouth, and he doesn't have two simple fangs. He has long needle-like fangs that come down out of his top gums that are an entire row that as he pulls back they retract slowly, and he just, nope, no, we swallow around here, there's no spit. So deal's done. He walks over, goes into his pocket, and pulls out a completely different memory card.
Oh, you piece of shit.
And hands it to Luke. There you go. I will let you know. Anything goes down that concerns you guys as soon as I can.
And where did you say these new ones are that you want us to take a look at?
Well, I mean, you got plenty to look at here. And when you get a little bit further along, give me a call.
You said also you had plenty of talented researchers at your disposal. You don't suppose you could just send them my way to, you know, be useful for me, right?
Oh, no, he's in Roswell right now. I didn't want to have to mail it. You're familiar with him. But he's busy right now. Contracts and everything. I mean, he could have done it for me. But like I said, we work together so well. You, Ilya and Curtis, 2 peas in a pod. You know, we think alike, you and I. All right. Well, I have to be going. Hey, next time around, remind me to tell you the story of the time that I got to drink from a shark off the coral reef in Australia. It's a wonderful story. I just don't have the time right now. So I'm going to get going. And as my first little, we'll call this a freebie and an offering, I'm going to go use the back way. And he turns around and starts heading towards one of the shelves. Looks back, puts his hand up, and pulls a dusty old copy of Nosferatu on the shelf. It leans forward. The shelf clicks open. He pulls it open, and there's literally a doorway leading into what looks like it might be tunnel access.
Does everybody have... Is this like a normal thing? Where everyone has spooky entrances?
No, it's all rail systems that used to run under here when they were running coal between the different buildings. Save a lot of time transporting stuff instead of doing it on the surface. I'll show you the maps one day. One of them comes here. But anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. And, have fun. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look. And he starts closing the door. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. And he closes it behind him. And you can hear him singing down the hall.
Charlie. Charlie. Come here. Come here. Charlie. Come here. She starts like turning you around rapidly, like a overprotective mother who's looking for a speck of dirt before the Easter church. And she's just like anywhere, like looking for any. There's not a single speck. Nothing. He didn't drop anything. He didn't leave anything behind. Do you have anything in your mouth still? She goes to like put her hand to go into really invasively just
Delia. Here's your flash drive. Oh, wait, it's this way.
Wait. Is this my hand? Wait, there's a delay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is my hand. Yay! Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty.
So, we're abandoning this chantry. We're bringing all the books somewhere else. We're getting the fuck off of whatever his map is.
That's cute. I don't think that there is an off the map.
Well, we don't have to make
Yes,
it easy for him.
Fair. Alright, that is fair. I mean, if
Look,
we could move everything, I'd be okay with it. I mean, that's fine, but that's a lot. And honestly, I don't think there's any real escaping Curtis.
Well, I'm gonna attach some flamethrowers to the back door. How's that?
That sounds... No, actually, no. The last time I let you play with fire, you almost lit us on fire too. And if I'm very honest, the fact that you didn't have a little bit more restraint, not that I don't understand why, I get it. We might not have been in the problem with the Giovanni.
First off, I'm not sure you do get it, but that's okay. Secondly, I think we can handle the Giovanni just fine, although apparently Curtis is going to do that.
I mean, it's not a problem for us now, but you have a level of confidence that we would just handle that. I don't know. We do not know each other, and I don't know where you come from to have that confidence.
That's fine. My job is to make sure that you're safe. If the Giovanni come for us, they will not come for you.
Well, let's see what's on that drive. And I'm sorry for trying to put my hand in your mouth, Charlie. It came from a good place.
I get it. It's okay. It was a little weird, but it's okay. But the dentist at least asked before they did that, and if you ask me next time, that'd be okay.
Sorry. I'm surprised that he lets me live, but also it kind of makes me want to figure out how to break everything more. Does that sound weird?
No.
Okay.
No.
No. If it weren't...
Oh, you have a thought. Oh, no, I like the thoughts that make you people stop. No, keep going.
I would very much like to harm him. That's my thought. That's why I stopped.
I respect the fact that you knew that you had to get up from the table and walk away. That is a very healthy coping mechanism with rage.
Says the Bruja.
Take a shot. Everyone take a shot.
Yeah. I don't like people who attempt to exert their will in that way. The Sabat used to do that. Cam has always done that. I don't like it from anyone. I don't believe we should have princes.
Honestly, we're the closest to being something fair that we've been in a real long time. And I had hoped that Curtis wouldn't use those tools, but I think he's very focused. So
Better than horrible is not necessarily good. It's just a little better.
well, unless we're doing better ourselves, this is what we got. And I tried to get us some insurance when I'd sent you guys off against Sternhertz. Help me out here. My mouth is
Steinhertz.
Thanks. But there weren't any samples for him. Do you understand? If we were... That's why I asked for it.
Well, on the plus side, killed a bunch of Nazis,
We did.
and now you have some research to look at.
We do. Maybe we can catch up somewhat to what he actually knows.
Am I the only one here who's a little hungry?
Well, yeah, but we just got all this stuff, and I haven't even looked at all the cool... There was a secret compartment, Luke, that I didn't even know about, like Scooby-Doo.
You want me to get you takeout?
Maybe?
What's your preference?
I like thinkers.
Charlie?
I'm okay right now.
Really?
Thank you.
After all that? God, you moved so fast. It's ridiculous.
I mean, even when I was still human, I moved really fast, so
Ooh.
it was a stretch, but not as much of a stretch as your average person, I guess.
I led a
I'm
very
gonna go get some
life.
food. Bring back a little for the group. Be family style. We can share it. Once you guys get started with the research, I'm going to take this back door and see where it leads.
Ooh, and Charlie, you noticed chemistry? Ooh, you're gonna be very useful. She just grabs a stack of files and puts it on the desk next to Charlie. This is your section. Poof. A little bit of the dust from the drugs floofs back into the air. When you come back, Luke,
I can help.
you can have that table over there. She puts.
I can help with the medicine.
Okay. So
Hup,
Luke,
hup, 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 hup.
by the way, it's a copy of Nosferatu. Right next to it is a copy of Der Fledermaus. Side by side. So you're able to mimic Curtis's exit, and you can hear the latch click as it opens up, and it does open up into what looks like a coal mine style track with very old brickwork running underneath the museum. It doesn't look like it goes very far in the direction of Central Park, but going back out towards the city proper, it does. And that must have been the direction he went. We're going to do... So what's your plan for hunting?
She wants thinkers. I'm going to make my way towards NYU. Or any college campus that is closer, since I know that New York has several.
Okay.
But
Well,
Zed's knowledge of New York is different than what Luke's is.
yes, no, I'm with you. Upside is you're also underneath a museum. So that is also
that's true.
helpful.
Although you don't shit where you eat.
Good point. There are some locations nearby that you could pick up. I'm not going to get deep into it, but
Yeah, I'm not looking for it.
What's your style? Is what I should say.
If the New Eurekan is doing slam poetry tonight, then that's where I'd be headed. But yeah, so I mean, my predator style is a little different, but I'm not trying to feed me.
Not so much your personal style. What is Luke's approach right now?
He's gonna go to wherever thinkers look like they might happen to be. Wait until he sees one or two that look like they're, straggling or separated from the bunch. Dominate them into a dark alley, and then, incapacitate and sneak his way back as best he can.
I pull the old dominate sleep and then that move. Okay, so we will use charisma or manipulation. I will take either.
That's good.
We've learned something about your sheet just now.
Oh yeah.
And let me see here. I really need to get a separate standalone character sheet PDF.
Like a
for
blank?
Vampire. That would be smart. Instead of having to go all the way to the back of the book. Every time. There we go. I will take charisma or manipulation with persuasion, intimidation, or subterfuge. All of those are acceptable ways to kind of approach this situation.
Cool. Ooh, wow. Okay. Shit. 3.
Okay. Now here's the tricky part. Composure, streetwise, or stealth?
To get him back.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go composure. Like, oh, my friend is really drunk. I just got to get him home.
Yeah, one of those moves.
New York's filled with that.
How many did you get?
Well, it's composure and... Oh, I see. Composure and stealth, or composure and streetwise.
One of those two.
Ah, okay. Well, it's much, much worse for a mental discipline that I don't have. So let's go for the social discipline I don't have. Aha, I got one.
All right.
Yay, no one calls the cops on you.
There's this really scary guy carrying someone on his shoulder. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I saw something. I said something.
Well, okay, here's what happened. You ended up going to what looked like a small cafe near the museum, a couple of blocks away. They were doing a late night salon style philosophical hangout, the way pretentious intellectuals do.
The way cafes did it in the good old days.
Yeah, no. They still do it. They still fucking do. Well, when there isn't a pandemic going on, but they still do
They
it.
better not be doing it.
In my setting, where there hasn't been one yet, there's no Rona. In my
Okay,
setting,
yeah,
because it's a world of darkness, but it ain't that dark. Right
Gotta
now.
have limits.
You were able to find somebody that kind of looks akin to your style. A probably mid-20s, graduated, but is still hanging out with friends that are in school still kind of person. And you know those philosophy majors. They really don't have a job to go to other than in the school itself. So they just...
Shitting.
Where's the lie?
Where, when you say my style,
They're looking kind of punk.
fantastic. I actually might get bonus dice in a situation like that.
Well, the upside is you already got it covered, so we don't have to roll
Alright, sweet.
anything extra. You have one person that you can
Okay.
take back, and each of you would probably be able to slake one without hurting them irrevocably, and then getting them home later.
Yeah.
You know this. They're not a small individual, hence why you grabbed them. They probably got, they got 10 in them, so to speak, pints at least. So you're able to bring them back. Easy enough. You get stopped by a patrolman, but your line of like, they're drunk. I'm just getting them home. And the cops just looks over, sees how out they are, looks up at you, looks you up and down. All right. Just don't do anything dumb. Walks on, looking for somebody else to harass. And you're, by the way, the coal tunnel hooked up with the sewer system, and you were able to come up through, and this is a classic thing in New York, cones with rope and just a steam pipe coming up out of the ground. There's an exit disguised as one of these in the street. You also know you could hear the subway. So if you went a little bit further, you might be able to get to a station and walk up through a station.
On the one hand, this is all very convenient. On the other hand, this is all very convenient.
Well, little head shy. Jeez.
Luke knows that if he took some time, he'd be able to actually map out modes of ingress and egress from this location. Should he need to. It would take probably a night or so.
A job for downtime.
Yeah. But right now, you know that you exit out onto, shit. It's across the street. I can't think of the fucking street right now. What's the address? You motherfucker.
Well then.
Metropolitan Museum of Art, yes. Why does it say it's so expensive? I've been there before. It's if you're dumb enough to buy food in the Met Cafe, you fucking
Tourists.
deserve it. So it's in Central Park essentially, and it looks out over Fifth Avenue, and it dumps out in like an alley on East 82nd Street. Which is like which is like the T section, but there's like a small like cut into one of the buildings that looks like it's an architectural oddity, but it's got one of these steam vents coming up, kind of covering the entrance to allow you to walk out looking casual, like you had never stepped out of anywhere. And also there is a the nearest subway station also is very much accessible, it looks like. From what you can guess, you haven't been there yet. Back at the library, though. Back at the Chantry. While Luke is going and getting takeout.
Yay, book club.
The nerds get to work.
Would you like to join our anime club?
So,
We're gonna do some science.
I'm gonna need you to roll some dice. To science and nerd.
What's my nerd stat?
Well, this is all straight up intelligence, occult and
Alrighty.
intelligence. Okay, so how are you? How are you investigating? Like, what are you just going? What are you going over? Because you can declare specifically what you're looking at. So right now, in front of you, you have two interactive items, essentially. You've got the stack of shit from the
Aces and eights.
from the Aces and Eights. Once was the Aces and Eights. And on the other side, you've got that thumb drive with the cipher on it and research material.
Well, the thumb drive we probably have to have Danny look over, don't you think?
I would think so. Let me message Danny. It just takes out her phone and just sends Danny a message with a picture of the thumb drive, just going, like, do you want to do me a favor? All the A's.
You gotta plug it into something to find out what's going on with it first.
I mean, I have a laptop, but I wouldn't normally walk around with it.
You
Did we
can
get a
have one
laptop
here.
from the bar?
Did we take a laptop from the bar? I think we did. But I
Yeah.
don't know if it's necessarily so use mine. It's fine. I don't know what weird websites people are on there. No, here.
You're dealing with a Trimiere. So as you plug in the thumb drive, all you see is a single text file.
Huh. At least it's easily accessible.
As you open it, at first it looks like complete gibberish. But I will take a intelligence or wits, either or, investigation or academics.
Oof. Only one.
It's a research. It's a catalog of pages and references, and there's a lot of them. So what it probably does is you need to find the book each paragraph is written in. So it's numbers, and then there's a catalog. There's a catalog number, and then there's a whole just slew of numbers after it in groupings. What you start to figure out is that they are grouped into a volume, and then page and word. Like page, paragraph, word. It's broken down like that. So you have to spend time going and getting the actual volume from the shelf, going to the page, and then going through and translating one paragraph at a time.
Oh. Hide and go seek, but for books.
Oh. Okay. Well, if we just have to find these books, then here. And I'm just gonna take my, Charlie takes her phone out and takes a picture of at least, the first couple and goes, I will go find these. Do you want to find the next couple? We just split the work?
But there is all those... Yeah, let's stick to one thing. Yeah. She looks longingly across at the papers thrown out that she had shown Curtis.
And it's at this
Are
moment
you sure?
Yeah.
I can do it.
It's at this moment you recognize why there is a library carousel next to the desk.
Oh.
And a library carousel, I don't know if anybody's seen it, it's ye old Google Tabs. You put a book on it, and it's a big wheel that you can turn, and the shelf that the book is on rotates gyroscopically so that it doesn't tip the book over.
It's wonderful.
So that you can rotate the damn thing like the old fucking Price is Right wheel, and have new books and just cycle through books that you have out for reference.
$1.
So as Delia and Charlie start gathering books from the library, we are going to take our first break. Well, not our first break. We're going to take our break for the night. So this is the part where we use the restroom, grab drinks, grab snacks if we need to. Erdith had a fantastic description of it earlier in chat. It was, Curtis is the culmination of a decades-long conversation between James Spader and Robert Downey Jr. that started in the 80s.
That's so good.
And that kind of nailed it for me, because I do realize there's a little bit of Tony Stark, like Robert Downey Jr. Energy in there, as well as my main inspiration, the character that spawned the concept of Curtis, was a character from Blacklist, James Spader. So yeah, I get it, and that's perfect. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I saw that and was immediately more okay with Curtis biting me. After Robert Downey Jr. was thrown in the mix, I went, yes, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
That's your mental image in the moment. Just focus on that and not the hot dogs.
Yes. Yeah.
Cigar smoke and a hot dog cart.
The mustard.
Old mustard, yeah.
Old mustard.
Old mustard.
All right.
Fucking throwing Fox in there.
So let's get back to what we were doing. Let's get right back to that. We are in this this ex-Tremere Chantry, now Sanctum of Delia, as the Tremere are in a bit of a spot. And then the elders of the city were mysteriously disappeared. And nobody knows where they went.
Mystery.
Lucas Leinart was the name of the previous owner of said chantry, and Delia has just recently, for the very, very cheap price of one blood bond with the prince, gotten her hands on some research notes that used this chantry as a cipher. So for the past hour, as Luke went and got takeout and found out how much the
Oh my god, your Muppet energy.
and found out at least the beginnings of the extent of the underground access to this chantry that there is. Delia and Charlie were going through the stacks. There's a decent amount of books here. We are talking I don't know if anybody's ever been into the repository section of their library where all the research is in the basement, the research books. It is a very interesting place. It's about half the size of of a bigger one. So we're talking 150 feet by 300 feet worth of old books. And in the center is a large, finely furnished English table from probably the mid 1800s, and matching chairs where the Tremere, who previously owned this place, did his research, as well as a large book carousel.
It needs a pineapple.
A pineapple?
Yeah, like one of those.
Like a pineapple lamp?
Like those little glass pineapples that you just like.
Put a place.
Yeah.
It's just a glass pineapple.
Yeah. That's what this place needs. It's very uptight. It
Fuck, I hate
requires.
Delia's aesthetic sometimes.
I don't know that you've ever had stronger auntie energy than right now.
It's filled with unidentifiable wrapped hard candies. You don't know what they are.
One of them,
It's
the
just
root
different
beers.
colors cellophane. There's no label. It's just yellow cellophane with a hard candy in the middle. What is it? What is it? I don't want to try.
Obviously. Are you always resisting the urge to put plastic on all of these chairs?
Yes, actually, her before the fire, her old apartment was in fact covered in plastic.
Mhm.
Canonically, that existed. You
That
pinned
existed.
this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yay!
So let's have the ladies roll for their researching. I will accept intelligence or wits with awareness or investigation. Either a combination of attribute and skill as you see fit.
I know you're gonna laugh at me, but I'd like to. Could I blood surge and get some more dice here?
Actually, absolutely you can.
Okay.
I come in, I drop the body down, I'm like, ah, fuck, and I just go back out again.
Make it well, why didn't you tell me you wanted a double? All right, hold on.
It's gonna be one of those nights. No, actually, it won't be. I'm fine. Yay.
No supersizing today.
I think I'll be responsible and get the extra large diet coke.
Oh, it makes me so angry.
Jesus Christ, 4.
4, okay. What?
I got
2. 6 total between the two of you. All right. You begin pulling books, and they are disparate on topic. You pick up a genealogy of the Tudor dynasty. You pick up an old book that seems to be a dissertation on waterfowl. You find a old research book that discusses the proper way to weight a scale. It's more of a pamphlet than it is a full volume, but it takes calibrating scales very seriously for the purposes of accuracy in your endeavors.
I think Curtis just didn't want to have to do this. I think this is the thing he doesn't want to do.
How much is an ounce, really? How could you possibly know? It's just comparison to another thing.
So is time.
You need to find the first ounce.
only bake by volume.
The source.
Actually do that.
Charlie ends up finding several books of on her own. A review of contemporary mimesmanship, as well as a Luddite volume and dissertation on the evils of the cotton gin.
Okay, actually, there are plenty of evils in cotton gin. But I'm not sure mimesmanship is a word, but at the same time, I can't believe it's not a word, and it should be.
Here's the best part about old novels like that. Because language we didn't have enough communication widespread enough on such a rapid basis that language was extremely localized, and people just spelled shit the way they thought it should be spelled, or said shit the way it should be said. So the fact that a book could come out saying a review of contemporary mimesmanship from like the 1800s is not a foregone conclusion here.
I was born too late.
Yeah. Hence, Catty Corner versus Kitty Corner versus Kitty Wampus.
Mm-hmm.
All mean the same shit.
Yeah, they used spelling was not standardized until like the 1890s, 1900 somethings.
Yeah, for the longest time, the letter Y was used in place of a TH. That's why it's ye olde shoppy. It's the old shop. That's how you're supposed to say it.
All right, so start tagging the stream as educational now.
It's always educational.
We are now educational stream.
Stop learning here.
Is there a linguistics tag?
No.
Cool.
So getting back, and as we escape the labyrinth that is my understanding of library studies, which is a course you can take, which I'm not going to get into, you're able to assemble a bunch of different volumes, and you just start deciphering. And it's concerning as Luke comes back, because we're going to have Delia make an intelligence occult test.
Why is that concerning? I'm very smart.
Well, Charlie can make one, can aid as well.
Okay.
It's intelligence occult. If Charlie is helping, Charlie rolls first, adds dice to Delia's pool.
Let's see. Oh, 1.
Okay,
one more.
I add the 1. Oh no. Okay. 5.
You are very concerned because it looks like Lucas was getting into a field of study that you have been very interested in.
Are you double dipping?
Blood connectivity and correspondence. But it seems that most of his research was centered around the break that happened. With the let's see here, liquidation of the Austrian chantry and the number of clan elders that were hit and the level of blood bond that was extended across pretty much the entire Tremere clan, that shockwave did something to all of the blood connectivity, the correspondence, the blood correspondence between the clan. It seems that Lucas was looking for a cure, a way to fix it, so that the pyramid could be reconstructed. But what's fun is that a lot of his research happens to connect directly to what you were looking into.
How to build something means you know how to break it.
Yes. So, one of the things that you don't fully get is there's this talk of a flower. Because you got it exceptional. So, there's talk of a flower and an old method that hold on. Just double checking the thing. Yeah, the only thing that you can get full the one thing you really pick out, it's just, it looks weird to you. And just as Luke is walking in with, I got your dinner, Delia says out loud, what the hell is a Kupala fireflower?
Anybody? Fireflower?
Oh, I might know. Would Charlie be able to do a roll since she has a scientific specialty in botany?
Yes.
Isn't that from Mario?
No.
The cadence without any fucking break. No.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Mario.
Well, here's your dinner.
Luke can make an intelligence occult test with a +3 based on clan. Charlie can make a roll. Ah, 3 for Luke. Okay. Of your its intelligence and your science botany.
I fell asleep during that class.
Oh.
The dice are back.
That sounds Charlie's the one that's, isn't that from Mario?
Yeah. Do. She just starts reading more books. Just just. Burp, burp, burp.
It's better than the silence. I don't.
Luke remembers
Yeah.
an old sire mentioning how the Koldun would use it in a practice.
So Kupala is a demon.
A what now?
A demon.
I really want you to flesh this out for me.
Oh, that's what the Samisi do. So the antediluvian of the Samisi clan made some kind of a deal with this demon the stories go all sorts of weird, but basically the idea is that the demon's presence or its essence got spread into the dirt of Carpathia, and that's how Samisi gained their magic, which they used to have or maybe still have. It's a little tricky there too. And the idea is that that's why we always have to carry dirt with us, or at least we used to. It's because the dirt has the essence of this demon that gives us our magic.
So it's kind of like an origins mythos.
Yeah, kinda, but like none of the stories treat the demon as some kind of a metaphor or anything. It's always a literal demon named Kupala.
Okay, so there's a flower that is named after this demon.
Yeah, it's a flower that grows in the dirt of Kupala because of the essence, or it grows in the dirt of Carpathia.
So basically the
Kupala's
idea is
essence.
like the roots are drawing up the magic within the dirt.
Yeah, and then supposedly you can use the flower to like keep demons still, to lock them up.
So the flower that is named after the demon can be used to make that demon have a bad time.
Littler demons.
Okay. I'm gonna ask, when we say, we're saying demon, are we talking about like the poetic demon? Like, you know, someone...
No, the legends are pretty clear, like actual fucking demons.
So, how would that differ from a ghost or a spirit? Because they're basically a separate plane of existence, but still an echo of their time here. Never mind.
I'm not really looking to get into metaphysics. I mean, I'm just telling you what the fucking thing is.
I know, I'm sorry, I can't not ask! I can't not ask!
Demons, look, hey, Delia.
Okay.
What are we?
We are an evolution.
But what are we?
Mammals.
What are we?
Atoms.
What are we?
Yeah, sure, let's use that word. Vampires.
Yeah. So if we're here, then demons can be here, werewolves can be here, all this shit can be here. Now, I understand your idea that it's all just shit we don't understand yet, but however many thousand years ago this fucking legend came about, demon was the most scientifically accurate term they had.
So basically, Lucas is thinking that if they acquire this flower of some kind that will most likely come from Carpathia, from what I'm hearing, right? Very exotic flower. This flower may be used in as some kind of component to maybe reactivate the connections of the blood that were severed from...
I sent you a message.
Hey, she's nerd babbling. She's doing like a little circle while she walks and talks out loud with hand motions. As Cassandra... Thank you, yes.
Stuck in my head now. Shit. Damn.
Volderi? What was that word? Was that Volderi?
Mm-hmm. What?
But there was another word.
Volting?
What?
Voltron.
No! I love Voltron. No!
Another word for what?
There was another word being mentioned. Volderi?
Voldery?
Volderi? When the stars is that?
Oh man, I haven't heard that word in years. Voldery. Yes, I got him. Sorry. Voldery is like a blood bond amongst the whole group of people. That's kind of what I was describing at the prince to get a rise out of him.
So what the pyramid was doing?
Well, it's a Sabbat thing.
Oh.
But the Tremere, no offense, steal a lot of things from a lot of places.
No, there's no offense. You should use every tool that you come across. There's no shame in that.
So they did.
Okay. Is this something that's still active now? This mass blood bond?
Not so much.
Was it
That's
broken?
why you're not seeing a whole lot of Sabbat running around these days.
So, did someone break the bond? Or they... I don't know why they fucked off.
I don't know how it stopped. I just know that a lot of people who used to be real fuckheads got real mad at each other all of a sudden. Because, I mean, think about it. If you've been, like, mind fucked into being happy, friendly with people for a long enough period of time, then you wake up one night and you're not. And you look around, you're like, oh my God, I hate these people.
Are you talking from personal experience? I can't... I gotta ask these questions. They're gonna get me in trouble. But I need to know. Is this something you've had experience with yourself?
I managed to keep my nose as clean as possible. I was never in any of that stuff any longer than I had to be. But yeah, a little bit. I'll say that.
Canonically, they all...
Was Delia writing down as the deciphering was happening?
Ooh.
Anything, or?
Yeah. She's definitely a note taker. It's also in shorthand, though.
Oh, well, while Luke and Delia are going back and forth, Charlie just kind of slides that over and just reads it. And just slowly, the brow just slowly furrows more and more. And then she just goes, I don't mean to interrupt.
Please do.
This is bad, right? This looks bad.
Well, he's super dead now, so I don't really need to worry about what he was intending on doing with it. I hate to say it, thanks to Curtis.
I was looking at those blueprints from earlier. There's a lot of weird, old magical shit that's getting wrapped up into all of this.
Okay, that sounds bad. I just kind of assume at this point.
A lot of it's alchemical based formula, but the pieces they're using
that shit doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work? That makes more sense than half the things that we deal with in a normal day. At least
Can you turn lead into gold? Modern science exists for a reason. The humans have driven us underground for a fucking reason. Alchemy is dead.
It's not dead, it's just fringe. And there are those who still follow the fringe sciences. It's just not very popular.
Right.
Wait.
Fringe like homeopathy. Delia, you're not going to tell me water has memory, are you?
But no, God.
Because I swear to God, if it has memory of like some aspirin that was put into it 3 weeks ago, then it has memory of all the fish that ever shat in it.
Water would have such a terrible, terrible resonance if it could remember being shat in for its entire existence. That's a very strange thought experiment.
The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
Charlie got me there.
Charlie occasionally forgetting, not child of Gaia. Bruja.
We have so many weird makeshift werewolves in this group.
Wait a minute. So, okay, hold on.
Yes.
For
Open
the
forum
hold on.
questions.
And she goes into her pocket in her sundress because pockets and dresses are amazing.
It's the most progressive.
And she pulls out that little like whatever she pulled off the Nazi in the middle of the fight. That is the greatest sentence I've said in like a week.
Yeah.
Goes, so would they're taking like blood or whatever and putting it in drugs, right? Is that like weird blood alchemy
So
pharmaceuticals?
the weird part about it, pharmaceuticals. God, I'm sure there are uses in a wider range.
Some worm shit right there.
Oh my god. Fucking nerd. I don't know what it says because I got it too, but fuck you, nerd. And you too. I'm surrounded.
All right, so we got to go find Pentex Industries, okay? And then
All right, no, let's get the gasoline.
Charlie knows
they're
about
going to have a
them.
vat. They're going to have a vat. It's going to be full of black, icky shit. And there's going to be a bunch of weird, hairless, baboon-looking guys dancing around it, okay? Like in a spiral, okay? And we got to find them.
Okay,
I'm
so
very sorry.
what was really
interesting?
interesting about the alchemy is that they're not using everything has to use your own blood. So when I do the alchemy, my baseline is also a kiln, right? Some kind of base facility that you work within. I use my blood as a conduit, and then I usually need some secondary blood of resonance. They're using something to connect to bloodlines. And I don't know if they have a base sample for everything, or if they found a way to circumvent the entire process and just get access to those things.
So who would we need to ask?
Well, I would have asked the person cooking it.
Yeah, well, he was a fuckhead, so we got to find someone else who's cooking it. There's probably more than one.
Yeah, but of that quality. That's the thing we need to find.
We haven't researched that stuff yet.
Yeah, I did. I still can go through the research from the fuckhead, but I haven't had a chance, mostly
Fuckhead
because
research.
this blood connectivity. Do you think it's within? We had to tell Curtis this part, or like it's not technically? It's not about the drugs.
I don't think you have to tell Curtis anything.
Well, I think we should get like all the information that we can and like put it in like a nice report style.
Yeah, I miss
Like
that.
references.
I love that part of my job. I used to have all the folders out together, and I would present it in front of everybody, and no one paid attention. But the presentations were well typed out, and I'm sure they're still filed somewhere.
I
did the
know
same thing
that
in
there is
school.
a thing that is called PowerPoint that is for that, and I don't know what a PowerPoint is or how to use one.
I think Danny could teach us.
That's actually, Danny probably could.
All right.
I messed around with it one day. Came for like it was free on my laptop for a while, and I played with it. But I did the same reports as you, Delia, and I stood in front of the class and did the whole thing. But they didn't listen to me because it was a bunch of men and they sucked.
Oh.
So
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah, I went to school at a weird time.
I'll tell you this. It doesn't end in school. I was definitively talking about my work. They don't listen then either.
We had very different lives, you and I.
I think we
I
coexisted.
think it's obvious.
I think that's probably good, too. So, we need to go through this extremely tedious paperwork in order to find an answer to the question of how do we do this? That's our end goal.
Well,
How did they do it?
I think what Lucas was looking to do was to mend the connections. We could possibly still use this base concept to break it, but I need more information about this flower. This is outside my personal range. So if someone could look into that, that might be great.
Yeah, I could probably call someone.
You could call. What was that?
Sorry, yeah, I could maybe call someone, maybe, if they're not gonna try to kill me for talking to them, because I kind of told the clan to fuck off.
Oh.
Oh, so you have a similar relationship with your clan that I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Pop,
I can look through my old books.
were you assigned because you're also the unpopular kid?
Assigned?
To
What,
me.
to you?
Yeah.
No. Remember how I said I stayed out of shit?
Yes.
Yeah, well, to do that, I had to make deals. One of those deals ended up getting transferred to you.
Oh. Well, aside from Grigori's beautiful hair, I suppose, honestly, you're way more personable than he is, and I made out really well on this deal. I'm very happy.
Okay, sorry, it took me a minute to realize that was a compliment. Thank you. No, thank you. Genuinely.
Yeah, no, I just think there's a good synergy. I know you're being possibly paid to be friendly, but
I'm
still.
not being paid to be friendly. I could just stand around and be silent and grumpy the entire time.
Well, you usually
paid
are,
to
but
make-
we got to light Nazis on fire, and it seemed to have improved your mood greatly.
It really did. My job is to make sure that you don't die because I owe my life to you. My life debt was transferred to you. However, my advice, my friendship, all of that I give willingly.
Meets you with a heart of gold.
Oh.
That he keeps
Charlie
next
puts
to
her
his
head
other
on.
heart.
Charlie puts her head on Luke's shoulder. Just
Charlie puts her. My reaction
really
at the
enjoy.
head of my shoulder is like.
Oh, we're doing the friendly. Delia shimmies to the other shoulder and goes, I
Other way.
really like this
Other way.
now.
There you go.
There you go. This is good.
So you can all read the research together.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Sitting
grab
there
a book.
together.
Here, everybody. She just starts passing like a little book. All right, we'll read like this now.
Yes. Fine.
So let's have those. So now we're going to go into a little bit of research montage here. Oh my god, I love it.
I feel like any vampire player is gonna walk in on us and be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then just like take her card away.
no, I just got that.
I promise you, there's really fucked up shit in her backstory and timeline, guys. It's not just all shoulder hugs and Werther's caramel candy, which only Charlie can eat.
All right.
More for me, yay!
It's all for you, Charlie. It's all for you.
So that their science, medicine, occult combo that the three of you do,
Yeah.
intelligence with those skills, the three of you going over your stuff.
Oh, did we drink yet?
Yes, you can feed from the poor sap that sap.
We get one box.
Yeah.
Okay.
One whole box, yes. You just can't go down to 0 unless you decide to literally kill this person.
Does Charlie have any issues with drinking from this guy?
He's
He's unconscious.
having a good nap. Actually, Charlie is Humanity 7 and a consensualist on top of that. Would Charlie, you have to choose if Charlie would drink. If Charlie does drink, it might be a stain.
Charlie, are you
For
alright?
what it's worth. Are you not hungry?
I am, but
I'm gonna give this
I,
guy 50% off on a tattoo when he wakes up.
Oh, that's nice. He does.
I pull out like a stack of business cards, with flip it around with a little like 50% off.
50%'s a lot of money.
Wow,
Did
it's a lot of blood.
Did you ask him?
I mean, he was asking for it.
Wait, give me his wallet.
Why?
Just give me his
Why
wallet
do you
for a
want his
second.
wallet?
I'm not gonna mug the poor fool.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I mugged that Nazi. Just takes the wallet and the iPhone out.
Oh God.
Be sure to send that to Danny.
Oh yeah, Danny's gonna get all this.
Good. She's looking to see if he's an organ donor.
Yes.
That's only when you're dead.
Shush. Wait with me here. They're willing to give their organs. That's kind of consent.
There's also an
She's going through the wallet trying to figure out some personal elements of the person.
there is also an I give blood donor from the Red Cross sticker.
With a little bloody buddy giving the thumbs up.
Yeah, but it's still on the paper.
Oh, Robert Meredith,
That's
they're
what it's
coming for
called,
your score.
the little animated blood drop. He's bloody buddy.
Yeah,
I didn't know
they
that.
handed. You know, if you're done, they just hand it to you. They don't stick it on you, so you can like put it on yourself. Obviously, he just took it and shoved it in his wallet. So he's an organ donor and he's given blood.
Look, here you go, Charlie. Look, not only is he an organ donor, but he's also given blood, which means he's a giving type and he wants others to do well. We're not taking more than what we need to exist and to live.
If it's a big issue for you, I will say I did not ask this person for their consent to be fed upon. I don't want you to do something that you'll regret.
I can wait. I appreciate the pickup, but I can wait.
Can I ask
That's
how
fine.
exactly, Charlie, you can't just ask someone, hi, I'm a vampire, I would like to suck your blood, unless it's Halloween. So, how exactly do you normally take care of yourself?
I have people that I ask to feed off of because they know what I am.
Oh, that's a problem now, isn't it?
Only if the prince finds out.
You know, the person you're blood bonded to.
Well, just don't talk about feeding.
You know, I've done worse things, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm not hearing any of this.
Charlie, if you want, you and I, we can go find something more exotic later. In the meantime, just so our friend here doesn't go to waste because it's, ripening on the vine. Delia, do you want to take Charlie's hit?
You sure you don't? I mean, you did go through all the trouble of dragging them over here.
Yeah, I'm actually mostly okay.
Well, then waste not, want not, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Shamelessly, she will take your share.
Charlie does not watch any of this.
Oh.
She's just buried in, like, a book. Just, oh, that's how you mime how to walk with a balloon. Okay. Just, like, reading more of the books than she needs to.
Can I request this social media post, which is Charlie learning to become a mime?
Oh, the box gets smaller.
Okay, alright, chemicals, blood. Research.
Wow. Okay. So the rolls that were made. Give me your successes here. What'd you get?
Oh, I didn't roll anything.
Yeah,
Two for int medicine.
2 for intelligence medicine.
my god, these dice are evil.
You can spend a willpower, take a willpower hit, and re-roll 3 of those dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because
Okay.
holy shit. Tired of failing everything. Yeah, I rolled a 69, but I got a 9, so 1.
Okay.
60.
Science 1,
69s
medicine
always.
2, occult. Do we have a straight?
Son of... Hold on, I'm spending willpower.
Ooh.
3. Don't ooh. It's just
We do have a
3.
straight. 1, 2, 3. One of the few straights you'll find on this channel. All right. Okay. All right.
Do.
The new soundtrack to Vampire.
Just air horns, just all air horns all the time.
We're gonna release this. This is gonna be our first musical release, companion piece that you'll buy in our Streamlabs merch shop.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we have a Streamlabs merch shop. If you want sweet swag of robots, head on down there. Shamelessly plugging. Thing.
And a Shadow Gaze shirt.
And a Shadow Gaze shirt.
With a wolf
yeah.
on it.
And power word fuck.
Power word fuck. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the
Yes.
to the game here.
Yes.
Luke and Charlie, everyone's not happy reading this because obviously the person who wrote it was not exactly a great person, or at least was making notes in the margins that were not that great. Luke especially, because it does make mention of, it uses terms like mongrel blood and
Low clans.
yeah, and well, that's the thing, there really isn't much mention of clans,
Oh.
so to speak. It talks of pure lines and the superiority of some to others, and how the new regime is obviously superior because they do not suffer from the weakness of the previous. From what you gather, these Nazi
Motherfucker's about to start measuring head bumps and shit.
These motherfuckers thought that thin bloodness was actually their blessing as true Aryans. And they felt that the blood of the inferiors
Strong opinions.
I hate it too. They're there to be evil and hated, everyone, please. The blood of those inferior lines is but oil in the gears of their grand regime.
Yeah.
And it is through this that they will purify the lines and take...
No,
like, there's some really fucked up shit about, like, how certain people are even they're good at some things, and then insert really fucked up stereotypes here.
it's actually Aleister Crowley was an anti-Semite in favor of the Russian pogroms. He actually campaigned in favor of them, and he believed that Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, was he was amazed that Jews had come up with something so fantastic when they themselves are so obviously demonic. And he believed that it was something that they must have stolen at some point, because there's no way that they could have come up with it on their own. So this is reading like that.
Yeah, a lot like
Yeah.
that. So, in between the lines of hate and bigotry,
Every couple lines, he's super dead. Very dead.
you're
Squishy,
just
melon
reminding
dead.
Luke how dead he is. You
Just-
killed him.
Just patting on the shoulder. Dead. Dead. Real dead. Messy, undignified dead.
You just hear crinkling as Luke is just gripping the edges of a page.
Yeah, your table's not going to come away unmarked after this study session.
I was trying to tell Curtis we need steel tables. This fucking
Find your happy place. Find your happy place.
My happy place is spread all over the towel I tossed in the corner.
Wait, what?
His remains.
Oh. Okay, never mind. Just back to my book.
He's still crusty, by the way. His Luke. It's
Got past that whole cop too.
you're just lucky. It's kind of you wiped down enough. It was dark.
Yeah. This could be vomit.
Yeah, it's the guy wasn't looking great. You didn't have blood all over your face, at least. You know, your hands are clean. It's just you looked dirty, and Punk's got weird fashion sometimes. So, like I said, he had other people to harass.
Alright, so between this absolute nightmare, what of use is here?
So here's what you pick
Well,
out.
Oh, sorry. I've got a theory.
Oh, if you want to walk with a theory, I will affirm that theory or not based on how well you rolled, and then give you the correct answers if it doesn't line up.
Sounds like they've come up with a plan whereby they take Thin Bloods, I think, and grind them up for their juice. And then they use that with some alchemical processes to heat it up real hot and mix in other drugs as like a conduit, and then they're able to take out of the blood the abilities of vampires, I think.
You're correct, except it's the other way around.
Oh, they're taking older vampires.
They're taking
and-
full-blooded kindred
ah.
and finding ways to distill from the kindred everything that they had, because they don't view themselves as thin blood. This
Oh, they are
specific
evil.
group of thin bloods view themselves as chosen.
So we need to find a place with a bunch of industrial-sized food processors.
Okay, hold on. I like the dedication to the thought,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't need to grind anybody up for what I made.
Well, maybe you're better at it than these guys.
Well, that's sweet. Thank you. I guess that is an option. I hadn't
I
really
don't
thought
like
about
that they're trying to make vampire gazpacho. That's just weird. I hate it.
Well, people who have convinced themselves that they are better than everyone else find all kinds of different ways to justify horrifying acts.
I am intimately familiar and do not need to be told.
So we could just call it what it is. It's fucking cold tomato soup. I mean, let's be honest here. No one's coming with me on that ride. That's fine. Let's get back to the vampire juicing.
Gazpacho. 'Cause
So-
that is.
That's got lots of vegetables in it. Hold on. That's got peppers in it, and
Go to really weird places.
I love
Okay.
gazpacho.
Okay.
Just saying.
She's just haunting me. Sorry. Okay.
Recorded in front of a live
She's on a
studio
whole other
audience.
floor, I want to point out. Normally she's just like 20 feet that way. She's upstairs.
Oh my god. That's adorable.
Love it.
Lungs.
Oh,
I love it. So, I can give you a few extra little tidbits of information
Oh,
that you have
okay.
gathered.
is this before or after we get from what we rolled?
This is from what you rolled.
Okay.
Like I said, the Luke theory was almost there. These Thin Bloods looked at the Kindred as not what they came from, but what happens when mud blood mixes with the power that they had. So they looked to vampires, the curse. It's a curse not because insert whichever origin story you want here, but it's a curse because, well, if you just put it into the right people, the proper stock is what makes the weakness of the vampire, not this age-old understood thing. So they kind of accidentally stumbled upon separating separating discipline and power from vampires through the worst, like, ass backwards logic.
Yeah, it's the Anarch Rebellion as filtered through fascism.
Yeah. And you find that their notes have an unnerving similarity to some of Lucas's notes. Not the shit in the margins, but the actual science.
Also, to be fair, Lucas also was working with Siegbert, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's where you actually notice the thing that kind of makes you go, ah, shit. Because one of the things is a printout from an email. And that email happened to originate from a Steinhertz address.
What's the email say?
Well, it was the contents of the email is some of the formulas and stuff like
Okay.
that. It's the fact that you're fairly sure that Siegbert was sponsoring this group.
That certainly makes sense. Don't worry, he's also dead.
Yeah. An Argentinian Ventru named Siegbert.
Okay. Siegbert's still alive?
Well, last I recall, he was blood bonded to both the former prince and then also the Lazambra Victoria? Is she around still? I don't know what happened to him after I'd taken my short vacation to Philly.
So, should we go ask?
could put out feelers and see what's... I mean, the treatment Siegbert got from Curtis wasn't exactly a friendly one. I can't fathom that he survived long.
Why don't you text him?
Eh.
I could do that. Sorry, that was a really gross sound. Going through her scrolling to that rent. I only have his burner number. Well, Marco sends.
To Curtis?
Yes.
You get a message back with a shelf and a catalog number from within your...
Just give me homework? She just starts marching off towards where the shelf would be. This motherfucker just sent me homework!
It's on the top. It wasn't anything else. It's not a book.
Okay.
There's actually a space. As you look up, you are met.
I'll give you a boost.
You are immediately locking eyes with a jolly chimp with a drum.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I thought they all burned in my haven. Look at this cute little motherfucker! Look what I found! Oh, sorry, I was texting Curtis. I realized
How is that related to Siegbert?
Well, I suppose it's not. I just...
There's
But
a
look
little.
at him!
There's a little from his butt.
Is there a phone in
There
here?
is a small phone in there.
Monkey.
Was there phones in... I have to look at the butts of all my monkeys when I get home.
Phones don't normally go in butts. I'm pretty sure that's an unwritten rule.
Anything is a pocket if you're brave enough.
Listen, you're a different case. Mr. I'm covered in flesh pockets. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Well, I suppose he could be a case for
Normal
anything.
butts. Back to my book. I have now turned on Spotify and it's just like an electronica remix version of Mario songs. Just...
All right. It says there's a text in it that says use this safer.
Okay.
It's a smartphone, but it's like a bargain smartphone. Obviously it's a SIM card situation. So you still have a camera, you still have typing and that kind of shit.
I didn't get some weird relic from... Okay.
Yeah, it's not a Nokia flip. It's not a
Nokia is always the first thing we go to when we need to talk about an archaic brick.
because that's what they were. You could play Snake on them and that was it.
It's right there.
You could play Snake and make a terrible phone call. I remembered I had one and I talked to you on it while I was working at Wendy's, okay?
Yeah.
and they could survive a nuclear fallout.
Yes.
Like a Twinkie. Okay.
Yep.
So I was just pulling the phone out. Okay, can I keep the monkey?
All yours. I know you missed yours.
That piece of shit. How dare he be so nice after he put you in blood slavery? Like, come on! That is a roller coaster for my heart. I get to keep the monkey, everyone.
That's what abusers do, Delia. That's what being a prince is.
He's not ruining my monkey. That has brought me good luck since I was alive. Just angrily texting back, asking if Siebert, what the status of Siebert is. Looks back up at Luke. You're not ruining this for me.
I've said what I've said, and I'm done.
You can't take this.
Okay. The fact that you think I can means that maybe I can, and that's more on you than on me.
As it is, I had to find out Curtis knows my sire, and that just made it very weird for me today. So, she had asked about the status of, after being like, emoji, hurt, monkey covering eyes, thank you. But also, is Siebert still functionally like a being?
Sigbear kind of... Okay, so you get a message back. Gotten hot water with the higher-ups after the branch incident. Second with a 2 and D. INQ. Currently, Victoria's bitch.
Okay. She checks. Does he not have any free will? Or how subservient is he right now?
Couple steps further than Charlie and I.
New York still? Question mark.
Yes.
Okay, so somehow, remarkably, still alive, but also very much blood bonded to Victoria. I've been gone for a while, but apparently they're still here.
So remind me again, Sigbert is a...
Ventru.
What clan? Ventru.
Sigbert
He's been
was
bloodbound
funding
to,
Lucas. Ooh, what was that?
And he's been bloodbound to a...
La Zambra. I know.
I want to meet both of them.
I've had no interactions with Victoria, but apparently, I quote, is a bitch. Is Victoria's bitch. So I think Victoria's probably having a fun time. What is it, Charlie?
Luke, why did you laugh?
The Ventru and La Sombra don't get along. They were on opposite sides for a very long time. Have you ever had friends who constantly bickered, and really it was because they were basically the same?
But one's better than the other, don't you know?
Right. Well, the Ventru are part of the Camarilla, or historically were. The La Sombra were historically part of the Sabbat. After the Sabbat basically crumbled, for a Ventru to be bloodbound to a La Sombra is extra humiliating for the Ventru and extra fucking hilarious to me.
Huh.
Oh, he was on
Okay.
public display too. It was a bad night for him.
So who specifically is this person bloodbound to? Is it just some random Sombra, or is it like a
So
specific one?
she came in, and it was quite a big deal originally. 'Cause this was prior Curtis having any kind of power besides what he did in his own personal subway car. This was during La Grande Papillon's time. It was very scandalous. But I don't know what her function is these days.
Make a politics check if you want. If you want to try and remember what it was. Intelligence, politics. Anybody who's been New York and has interaction with the vampiric hierarchy over the past year or so will have heard of and know of things. So intelligence politics is fine for that.
Yeah, I will presume that I just wasn't paying attention.
You might have heard, but you might not have cared, but that doesn't mean you didn't process the information.
All right.
Is that potentially in Charlie's scope?
Yes.
Where she's been?
Okay. Well, 2 successes on the roll.
Same.
I'm gonna throw these dice in a dumpster.
Oh, and then light it on fire. Glug, glug, glug.
They've been cleansing for a week. I don't know what's going on.
You need new dice. That's what it is. Gotta buy more cookies.
They need new
have, like,
friends.
21
They're starting to get restless with each other.
Yeah.
They need new
Apparently.
stimuli.
They see the same dice every day.
21 of them. They should get over it.
To spice things up. All right. What deal you get? 2 and 2 for Luke as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you remember
This
that turns out Curtis was the one that organized the La Sombra joining the Camarilla in New York. He set up their big arrival and their big showing when they did arrive. And it happened to be at the notorious St. Patrick's Cathedral Elysium that it went down. This was also around the same time that Curtis convinced the Giovanni to step in out from being independent and actually join the Camarilla as well. It was from this that Le Grand Papillon assigned him as sheriff after the immediate fallout from that giant mess and clusterfuck that happened at that Elysium, because it kind of broke down a little bit at the time. And it seemed that at the time, Le Grand Papillon had Curtis on his side. Because LGP was rather liberal himself. He was starting to hold much more, a much less iron-fisted salons, Toreador, for Elysiums, where everybody could bring their grievances directly to him, and his Primogen Council was very daring because it didn't have the eldest in the Primogen Council. It was the most qualified. Turns out Curtis was manipulating that to get his own vision of what should be going on pushed forward. That involved bringing La Sombra in, and Victoria was listed as the La Sombra Primogen on the council. Now that the councils have been, and now that the council is made up of Primogen from locations, the different boroughs, and not via clan, she stepped down graciously and now continues her activities in New York, but not as Primogen, as a upstanding citizen.
Roll to disbelieve?
Oh, you know that. It immediately being like, I've dealt with
down.
Listen, I've dealt with Lasombra in the past. This ain't no fucking Boy Scout situation.
They don't give up power unless they get more power from doing so somehow.
So the question I found myself wondering, well, now that they have access to Siegbert had access to all this information, which clearly could be very destructive and probably valuable to other people, how could that benefit Victoria?
Well, I mean, there's power in having a bunch of thugs with stolen disciplines running around doing your dirty work. It could also be a backdoor way to learn a bunch of new disciplines, maybe, without having to diablerize a bunch of people.
Which, very, very functional, but I almost wonder on a grander scale what this is a stepping stone to something. Yeah? This is a vision of something that can be built to something larger. Victoria, if she was willing to step down from a primogen position, she would have to be presumably thinking she's stepping up to something grander, right?
Generally, yeah. But I don't know this person well enough to be able to say, why don't we just go over and say hi?
Don't you have to be friends with people to do that?
No. That's how you make friends.
Well, if that does not say a lot about my lifetime working in tunnels, I don't know what does.
What does she like? What does she do? Where might she be out and about?
So Delia knows Victoria only through her past employer. Did that employer reveal any things they did in their downtime while they were away from the city? When we were still...
Victoria?
Well, Miss Priestley was friendly with Victoria and spent time together at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Would any of the information have filtered from Delia's past employer, Miss Priestley, about Victoria? That's all I got. Otherwise, we actually have to go talk to Alice to find out.
Well, it turns out that maybe heading up into the Bronx, Victoria had taken a liking to the atmosphere, as the Lasombra loved to do, of the Corpus Christi Monastery. The Ventru always liked their royalty. The Lasombra always liked the church. Lasombra felt like the church was the way the Ventru the Ventru loved to be royals, because if they felt like that's what gave them the right to talk over people and tell them what to do. The Lasombra always looked at it as, but you only have that royalty because you have divine right. So if I control the church, your royalty means nothing.
Historically, that does follow through. It's strong logic.
So the Lasombra definitely do that. They are, I see there. They are Borgia style.
They're all hot. Damn.
That's not the right takeaway.
Oh my god, they're all hot. We're in danger.
They love long red gowns.
I heard these have like a hell of a party. Oh my god. We cannot miss this party. But be careful what you do it, because they will be watching. Nerds. We just, okay.
Don't say what happens in later seasons of the Borgias. That's spoilers.
Oh, that fundamentally makes no sense. You were gonna bitch to me about giving you spoilers for something that is historically documented. I'm sorry, you're illiterate and did not pay attention in fucking school. Do not come at me for talking about something that is well...
I may have touched at a sore spot there.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
Do you need a hug? I'm giving you a hug.
I need people to get off my ass
this
about
one.
fucking Borgia spoilers and read some goddamn books. I need people to read some fucking books, Luke.
So anyway.
You want a hug?
You want a soda?
You want a cookie?
You want to punch some Nazis?
Anyway.
All right. So
Yeah.
why don't we try going to the church? See if maybe they've got a midnight mass.
So, what would be like our... I don't know, reason of saying hello? You just say hi to people?
Yeah.
No, there's always a reason. And I feel
No.
like, at least if you have a fake reason, it's more honest.
But wait, the fake reason is...
More honest to lie?
What? In the sense that, like, no one ever shows up for no reason. Especially not in
Right.
our society.
So you just say, hi, I'm Luke. I'm here to talk to you about this thing that I heard you might know about. And I figured I'd meet you somewhere you find pleasant, because that's less creepy than coming to your house.
I mean, it would be nice if we could
He's
just
not
get a
wrong.
good look at Siegbert's suffering. Do you think they offer that, like, tourism element?
At the church? Probably not. I think the modern Catholic Church has mostly moved away from
The whole suffering thing?
flayings.
In this case, it's a missed opportunity. Some people deserve it.
flensings, Scourging.
Okay. So, I guess if we're just going to check on Victoria so we could see if we can sniff out Siegbert, that's on our list. We still also need to figure out where we can look up more about this fucking flower. It's haunting me. And I keep hearing Mario. Are you still humming Mario? Charlie, is that you or me?
It's me!
Yeah. Good, that means I haven't reached the limit of my...
It's on her headphones playing in the background.
Yeah. Honestly, we're not intended to live as long as we are. Our brains are not capable. It's only a matter of time before we start losing our sense of self and cognitive abilities, even as kindred. So, you know, we should not waste our time. No dilly-dallying.
When were you born?
Well, that's rude. Well,
Is it?
you just asked how old I was.
Yeah, because you're just talking about being too old.
I was treating people in Mason General when they were still calling it shell shock, Luke.
Well, that doesn't mean too much to me.
Well, it should give you a frame for it. Charlie, what was
Yeah?
the last war you lived through?
You mean the first war? Also, apparently, I have a cat now. Your Chantry has a cat.
Every good chance.
Sloan dropped it off for us.
They're called familiars.
Yes. This one's named Ollie.
Oh, oh my god. Oh, it looks like they're floating. Oh, floating kitty cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Small
sorry.
orange cat named Oliver.
Sorry. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you mean what was the first war you lived through? Because the last one would be the same for all of us.
that. There you go.
You're looking up Charlie.
Timeline. Yeah, I was certainly a fully functional working professional in the 20s. Look at the king. I love him so much.
Let's just take it out.
You got such a good hat. Oh.
So, Charlie.
Well, I was born in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Oh.
That helps.
Oh my goodness. When were you embraced? How old? It's hard to tell. You look very young.
Everyone does.
Britney Spears was really big when I was embraced. Like, right when that started.
I wish I
Wait.
could still eat candy. So I got sadness candy right now. Now I'm just sad that I can't have the candy. And I'm also sad because I'm fucking old. Yeah, alright, let's go to church, everyone.
Delia,
Yes.
Oh, man.
when were you born?
Shit, fuck. Cassandra has a timeline that's very detailed for everything she's lived through, but failed to write down her birthday. So I have.
If you were
yeah.
okay, if you were
I
a
love it.
nurse treating people
Yes.
for shell shock,
Yeah.
that means that you were probably 18-ish, maybe 20-ish in the 30s.
Yeah, so I don't have an exact birthday. Because I.
You were
Failed.
born just before World War One.
Yeah. So you and I are about the same age. I don't know
Oh.
my exact birth date. We didn't really do that there.
Oh. No cake?
Birthdays are a more American thing.
Fair. Well, since you clearly did not partake in the birthday cake, do you have a birthday tradition?
Oh, I love cake.
Well, when I came through Ellis Island, I decided to treat that as my birthday. So on my birthday, I go and drink the drink of my people.
Is that blood now?
Well, mixed with some. Sure. Yeah, it's blood. Look,
We're very
we're
limited.
both old. We've both seen a lot of shit. Let's just keep kicking, huh?
Do you not think about that at all?
Think about what?
You're clearly minded to be the type of person who understands medicine and the body. Do you not worry about our brain's capacity for endurance?
I've reinvented myself 5 times. I've been through enough shit. I don't think about it like that. Luke Valentine has only existed for 45, 50 years.
Your sense of self and your identity is one thing, but I mean, like, for the longest, for forever, our political structure has been led by the oldest of us. And we know, at least before people found the new life and the embrace, the oldest of us also tend to fray. I don't think we're immune to that.
I don't know about that. I know that when I got out of the camps, I made a promise to myself then I would not let anyone take my freedom from me, and that I would not die until I decided to. So, fuck this whole retrospective oh me oh my bullshit. I've got shit to do and asses to kick, and I'm not done yet. Sound fair?
Fair enough. Although, please don't kick Victoria's ass or light her church on fire.
Not planning on it.
Okay. No impromptu fires either.
Nothing that I think could ever blow back on you
Or Charlie.
or Charlie.
Yeah, no more fires, please. I would really appreciate that.
I'll do my best.
Honestly, though,
If
the
there's more
scourge.
Nazis, I make no promises, but
fair.
we can go different routes. It doesn't have to be fire. Fire's just more fun.
Charlie's just sitting there for a second, just kind of staring, like, with this like really hard like thinking face, just going. I didn't realize I was that much younger than everybody.
Well, were you not around any? I mean, everyone seems to have such a wide variety. Did you not run into other people who were older?
Well, I mean, just for our group, obviously, I gotta talk to the others, but I don't know, it just. I did spend kind of a lot of time outside of all of this for a bit. My sire, you know, I was embraced and I was here for a little while, and then he went, hey, we should probably, you know, bring you back home for a while, and we stayed there for quite some time.
Wait.
So.
Didn't you say you. Wait, so where's home that it's so far removed from everything?
Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rural farmland,
You're a
you know.
farm girl?
Well, we just had like that really like larger property kind of thing, not quite big enough that we were considered like a farm. But, you know, I like to bring a lot of strays home, so it was like close.
I could definitely see that. I mean, was it nice at least? I feel like New York is a lot. And probably very different from Pennsylvania. Which do you like better?
A little. That's hard to say. I like how it's quiet in Pennsylvania, and, you know, and family there and stuff, but, you know, I went to school in Staten Island, and I took the bus and to the city to do rallies, and you kind of get used to that too. And it has its own like energy here that makes you feel like you're part of the future almost. Like you can do something here, and that's kind of what drew me here.
It's a lot of why I stuck around.
There's a lot of...
Connery, what is the time of night?
Ooh, good question.
It's probably after all the researching and you did your snack run and the conversation with Curtis.
There was a bar we burned down.
There was a bar you burned down beforehand. It is getting
Nazi
towards
punching party.
probably 4:35-ish almost.
Ooh, it's late.
Oof.
I mean, the upside, you know that this room turned everything off would be like the room that you took the stairs to get down here didn't have windows in it. So your ultra basement, you could sleep down here knowing that you wouldn't get hit by sun at least.
Yeah, I just have this thing about sleeping in my own bed. It's a Samisi thing. I can't explain it.
Well, the
Handfuls
number
of
one
dirt.
problem about sleeping in a basement is you're sleeping in a basement. Which is weird.
So let's come up with a basic game plan. Tomorrow, do we want to see if there's a mass, or do we want to figure out when the next like midnight mass is, and then crash it?
Or politely attend? Yeah, yeah.
We could probably look this up. Charlie pulls out her phone and just Googles the church and then mass times.
There's a midnight mass coming up in a couple of days. There's a Saturday night midnight mass.
Oh,
every
good. There's
week.
plenty of days for us to go over the rest of these books then.
You have 2 days before the next midnight mass.
Okay.
Oh, there's a couple of days, but there's one coming. It's on the weekend.
All right. So that's part of the plan, I think. I'm going to spend some time mapping out the tunnels in the back, because it turns out they go a lot of places. You have access out that back door to basically the whole city. Now, that also means that basically the whole city has access to you. So we may want to look into upping the security a little bit. I imagine the Tremere who were here before probably had something for that maybe is gone now.
It'd be problematic if someone came in our back door. Especially without permission.
Is that a...
Charlie's always about consent.
Did you think about that
Get out of my head.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. All right, that's fine.
You just said the back door, people can come in and that's bad.
Yeah, no, never mind. You're totally fine. I'll tell you when you're older. So...
Let's secure his face.
Wait, hang on. It's so I'll map out the tunnels.
I'll try and think about the security, but maybe a more modern solution might be something we can ask Danny about funding, because in truth, gargoyles and all that is not necessarily my thing.
Sure. Well, and so I was going to recommend as well, we should probably bring along some backup.
I thought we were politely attending mass. Like,
I'm not
put
saying
on
it has to be
dress.
punchy backup. It could be high society backup. It could be people who know things backup.
Fair.
We have 3 people here, only one of whom is willing to say hello to people and not scare them away.
So we just send Charlie.
No, I don't think we send Charlie
So just-
alone, and I think you and I should be there. You in particular, because you know what you're asking about.
We
Me
could
to
also-
make sure you're okay. Charlie to make sure no one puts their foot in their mouth. But it wouldn't be outside of, good practice probably to have, some
Safety
help.
in numbers.
Yeah.
Buddy system.
It sounds a lot nicer when you call it buddy system and not like a bloodbound cult, right? Then safety in numbers is nice. It's just really the importance of branding now, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not against this. Maybe we talk to others and we could also, if there's a few days, we can do some research of other kinds, see if there's any rumors going about. I could call Alice.
Yeah.
Or I could stand here and read all the books, but we got options.
I mean, I made a
You could-
friend at Elysium. I could see if she heard anything.
That might be a
Oh,
good
did you
idea.
take any pictures with the fire? Because I feel like she would probably really like it.
No, I only got the Nazi shaming picture.
Oh. Drat. Well, I'm sure we could Google it. I'm sure someone got a picture of the fire. It's just not as effective
Oh,
as that.
Fire.
I'm sure plenty did. There were a lot of people there.
Okay. If you're looking to resolve the night and split off to your own respective homes, or crash wherever you're gonna crash, so to speak. I would like. I want to know what you guys are doing with the rest of your night. If you are done, whenever you're ready, speaking, because I realize that you're doing a lot of planning and stuff like that. So I wanted to know. You mentioned wrapping up your night, so I want to know when you're ready to do that. To remind you to tell me. Otherwise, I'll let you guys just talk.
Yeah,
hours.
I think. Okay. Zed thinks this seems like an okay place to call it an evening. But Luke will also agree and say, I have appointments tomorrow. I need to get back to my place. I got 2 sleeves and someone wants a neck tattoo that is, I don't know, I think it's kind of douchey, but he's paying me well, so.
Fair enough. You do have a life to live still. I'm just gonna be here. So I promise that this shouldn't get me killed.
Yeah, I'm hoping that of all the places you would be safe in a cement basement surrounded by books would be one of them.
Actually, probably leaving me with books might actually be the more dangerous option.
Well, then I'm taking all the books.
No. Unless you are going to take all the books because you're going to read them. You want to do some extra research?
It was a joke. You can keep the books. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. I'll try not to decimate an entire generation of kindred while you're gone.
Baby steps. Good. Small goals.
That joke would be funnier if I didn't do it.
Okay, I'm gonna hug you because it seems like that's what you need, and then I'm gonna hug Charlie because Charlie seems to like hugs. Wait, that's right.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna go back to my place full of needles. Have a good night.
Peaceful. Make sure they're sanitary.
Of course. Think I'm gonna lose my license?
It's like a vampire's worried about his tattoo license.
Yeah. Like, you could get that fabricated, my friend.
Yeah, but they're expensive.
Can't all be Danny.
Just because I'm a kindred doesn't mean I don't have to be legitimate. It's validated.
What kind of
about the
back
art.
alley bullshit operation do you think I run?
Just making sure.
I'm doing this shit with Bic pens and 9 volts. Come the fuck on.
Big pens.
Can I just say that now is like my favorite part of the night? Ahead of time, I don't.
Big pens.
Okay. And as I know this is a little early, but as our coterie disbands to their places for the night, we are going to end tonight's session. Anyway, that's it for us tonight. I have been Connery. With me, right here with me in person,
Cassandra Lee.
from the hellscape of Ohio.
Hi, I'm Zed. I'm from the hellscape of Ohio.
And from the hellscape that is New Jersey.
I'm Dara.
We'll catch you guys soon. And until we we see you again. Remember to always stay evil. Good night, everybody.